All right.
Good morning and welcome to Chai Time here on 103.5 Hum FM. We are so happy to be back. It's Monday and I am even more excited because I have my dearest friend Bhawna Luthra back here with us here on Chai Time. Woo! She is a family counselor and she is amazing at what she does, and she always comes on our show with amazing topics. So today we are going to be talking about the effects of social media on children. And I think this is a topic that I definitely need more on because I feel like I have a 13-year-old now, and she's, teenager, and all her friends have Instagram and TikTok and all of that. And she's like, so when can I get it? And I'm like, never. Not yet. You're still too young. And she doesn't argue, so which is a good thing. Not yet, at least. She's like, okay, fine. I'll just watch on yours. And I'm like, that's fine. I'm going to sit with you while you watch with me, but that's okay. But anyway, so that is, something, not a struggle, but that is something that we're already dealing with now, as a parent of a 13-year-old. Yeah. So, I'm excited for this topic, but, welcome. I forgot to welcome you. I just started on my rant.
It's all good, Lexi. I forgot my glasses.
We're going to need them.
Yes. Well, I'm glad to be back.
Yes.
I missed you guys. I don't know, it's been, 6 months?
Has it? Oh, my God. It has been a while.
Yes.
But I love that every time we see you, it's like we catch up right where we left off. There's no, awkwardness. There's no, it's been a while since we've seen you. It's just, let's get back into it. The love is there, and it's all good.
The topic we always
Yes.
It's like you come up with it. Sometimes I come up with it, and you have all... My goodness, the questions you send me, I'm like, girl, you're going to make me work today. Pick on my brain because I'm just coming back from India. And so I kind of, in my brain, been kind of like all that. And good part was I took a break from social media. I took a break from, I didn't even check my emails regularly. I checked it for once a week type thing.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't even care if I had a Wi-Fi or not. And that's the biggest, I think I realized that it's the biggest gift I have given to myself, and I unplugged, and I think it's possible. And there was a time I noticed I was spending 5 hours on my phone.
Yeah.
When you don't, it's free day, so it's like, oh, I'm chilling. So what I'm doing when I'm chilling, I'm just doing my phone.
Yeah.
Everything. Oh, I'm checking my emails. Before you know, you just open another browser.
Yes. So it just gets to you.
Yeah. So we all, 3 of us, went, and then we decided we're not going to check anything. The world can go on without us. So we have to pretend, we have to practice that things will be okay.
Yeah.
If family needs us, they will call us. We had another number. Reach us on that number.
Yeah.
So that works. And I think this is we have to practice if we tell our children it's possible.
Yes. Yes.
So we're going to talk about that. It's a parental responsibility. So like you just mentioned,
practice what you preach.
Yes, practice what you preach. So true.
So if you, like you said, you have, if you have, let's say, Instagram. So she knows mom has Instagram. So one day I'm going to have it. Right?
Yeah.
So it's sort of telling them, like when my kids were young, I used to tell them, oh, we didn't have all these things. We grew up with that. If you tell them like that, they can't understand. It's like, okay, that was a long time ago. It's a different generation.
Back in the days.
So you can't use that anymore because we also your generation grew up with that. Sort of like it happened when you were in your 20s. And we started using it.
Yeah.
So it's very different when I am in my 50s. So I knew I didn't grow up with that.
Yeah, yeah.
So you cannot just say, no, it was better and now it's not good. So we have to kind of give them, it is okay, but like you said, it's not the time. You're 13, it's not the time. Yeah. But let's say we can add one, social media platform at a time.
Yeah.
Right? Like we will start with Instagram, or we will start with TikTok, I'm not sure. So, and then parental guidance, right?
Yeah.
You can use my phone for it. But I want to give some statistics before we move forward. As of 2023, 250 million use social media in the United States.
Wow.
And number will go up to 6 billion by 2027.
That's just 2 years from now.
Yes. So, yeah. So average person spend close to 3 hours in a day.
An average person. Wow. I can't even imagine what the stats are.
Yes. So you could see the addiction component is way higher.
Yeah.
You know. So for me, it would be like an average would be hour and a half on a good day. Like, but now since I've been back, I haven't been on my phone. You know, other than certain things like work related. You know? But it's something we have to kind of start the habit with as a parent. If they don't use too much phone in front of your children, you know, because if they see you on a phone, even on a phone call, like you set a time when they are not around because they want your attention altogether, right? So browsing, never. I would say to never. Right? If you really want them to not get into it, it's to see that, you know, yes, I have it, but I use it when you're not around. Tell them.
Yeah, be
because
honest.
you are important to me. So when I'm not around, you're not using it either. Right?
Yeah.
So that sort of things we have to sort of inculcate in our children.
Yeah.
Right? So, so what is a good or bad? That was the question, right?
Yes.
What is a good? Yeah. Well, you start with the question. I'm just.
No. I like where you're going. Go. I like where you're at.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I, you know, what is the good? Let's talk about what is the good part of the social media, right? I mean, since it's been around, if you were to look at, you know, teenagers, like you said, you have a teenager. I mean, you have teenager as well. So, and now with children more and more busy with school and extracurricular, they don't have time to physically, you know, play and have interaction, you know, after school, which we used to have, right?
Yeah.
So only way for them to connect with their friend is through social media, right? Sending them messages, Snapchat or Instagram page, you know.
It's funny, why just text? Why do you have to go through Snapchat? Just text your friend. Call them.
Yeah, and I guess take as much space. I mean, that's their one of the reasons.
Okay.
And it's a thing, right? It's like they're using it, why can't I use it? Right?
Yeah.
So, like it's a thing, it's just the way, it's our, I mean, you open the phone, you can easily see their messages.
Yes.
But Snapchat is another
Another,
lock.
yes.
So that's their private. So that's another way they keep it, like it's my platform and I only can access it. You know? So if you if they're sleeping, you put the phone on their face, you can open their phone, but you can still open their Snapchat because they have another lock to it.
Smart kids.
And they also have another groups in the groups, right? Like that kind of stuff, you know. So which makes sense, like, you know, those way they feel like they belong, you know. So that's a good thing platform. I mean, it's okay as long as what I'm saying is it's not harmful. But it's like how much we use. We're going to get into that too, right? Like I said, average adults spend 3 hours, right? And we don't know, like teenagers,
how
they
much
probably
time they're
use,
spending.
like when we say average, but that kind of numbers into like adults more like who are able to go through the surveys. For teenagers, I'm not going to say it, but teenager lie. It's the thing, you know, if you tell them how much you spend on the phone, they'll say, yeah, maybe a couple of hours. But usually it's like when they say a couple of hours, usually 4 to 5 hours, you know. So we have to just kind of, unless
monitor
we
it.
get the true data from their phone company where they are using this from. So it's hard to get the accurate, you know. For adults, we are somewhat honest. I'm not saying fully honest.
Yeah.
Somewhat honest. So so that's one way they can communicate, and the other part is the conformity. You know, it's a conforming behavior. We all sort of conform into, like, you know, dressing and everything, how other people are, what they have, what they don't have, materialistic things. You know, that pressure is there. So the conforming part is like everybody's using Snapchat and everybody's using Instagram. So I want to belong. You know, it's important for me to belong. Sometimes they're not have fully interest in it, but they're just conforming into it. So that's one way, and it boosts their confidence because they're with others. They're communicating. They have somebody to talk to because there are things they cannot talk to us, and that's good. You know, that's helps them. And the other thing is in the social platform, and there are some, so through them they are also learning. There's education component in there too. lot of things people are on social media, they put the links, of, how to build up your self-esteem, and they go through that, and that's the only way they can learn. They're not gonna go like us, we did in the library, checked out books, how to build your self-esteem and self-confidence. I remember that self-help books, checking out at Barnes and Noble for myself, and the library free, free. We don't get anything free for a teenager. The other part is subscriptions. They have a lot more subscriptions nowadays, and it's I think it's they kind of talk about how many subscriptions you have. It's like another sort of level of like, I have 40 subscription. How many you have? Like, I have only 26. I need to build.
Competition. Really?
So,
wow.
So that's another thing, and you pay. Like, I know I was talking to one of my children, and they said, they have Uber subscription. Like, I was like, you hardly use the Uber.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
What's an Uber subscription?
Like, you have you if you use so you just have like Uber, like, they say they will give you a discount.
Like, so like you pay certain monthly fee. Okay. Yes.
If you have that, and then you get some saving. But if you're using it, if you're not using it,
it's just paying them.
So a lot of children, they get into these subscriptions and thinking like clothing, fashion, materials for boys. It could be something tech thing, and cars, and they have subscriptions for games. Video game is another thing,
Yes.
So they have a lot of subscriptions nowadays, and that's another thing becoming like, how many you have, right?
Oh, wow.
Yes. You have this one. Tell me more. Their conversation. I'm saying you have to see where is their conversations about, like fashion. Okay, which subscription you having for the beauty and fashion, like for girls is that?
Wow. Yeah, that's true actually.
Right?
Yeah, because my kids are all into Sephora, and I'm just like, really, like, that wasn't a thing when I was growing up.
So it's just like you have to see what they're subscribing into, and we haven't really like gotten much into as a parents. Like, really don't get into those kind of things because we don't have subscriptions, right? Like, what am I going to do? Like prescription? Like
I have that.
Yes, I have plenty of those now. So those are the conversations. You have to listen to their conversation. I know it sounds bad, but like if you eardrop, you'll see what are they conversing about. Sometimes we used to talk about our professors, teachers, how mean they are, and that's not part of it. I mean, that could, I remember watching this movie called Mean Girls. Like, remember that?
Yes,
movie,
I did.
Right? Okay. So, look at that culture and the culture. The conversation would be so different.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And that was more about boys and more about the other girls. Like, right? And that's not even a thing because they're not socially as much interacting. They're more, interacting through the social media and Snapchat. And so you have to see that they need that sense of belonging. Right? Yeah. And you have to enter into their world to understand it's not all bad.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And as for the young, when we go to the young children, for young children is like introducing. It's like a preparation stage, right? You don't want to just like when they go into 13, 14 and they feel like, I don't want to be clueless.
Yeah.
Because most of my friends been using since they were 8.
Yeah.
So you sort of talk to them about it if they're curious, but don't say no. You talk to. Okay. Yeah. I know.
I
you
like
have
that.
an Instagram page. Meanwhile, you can look at mine, like you said.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, but, we know that how much is an addiction. Talk about addiction. So important. Addiction, people think it's only the drug addiction and alcohol addiction and porn addiction, That's also falls into that category.
Yes.
But when your children turning 12, 13, that's a good time to talk to them about addiction. Like what kind of addiction is out there, right?
Yeah.
Like eating disorder. It's sort of like falls under there too.
Yeah.
Like you want to eat a lot. Or not want to eat a lot, right?
Yeah.
Eating disorder is a kind of subcategory, but it is sort of kind of go parallel with addiction as well.
Yeah.
Like food addiction. So the addiction part, like Instagram, when 12, 13 year is curious and they want to just about getting into talk about, what would addiction look like?
Yeah.
So now you're getting to the digital part of the addiction, but you are also kind of stepping into the other addiction parallelly because you will see all these things.
Yes.
Right? How the pop-ups happen. I remember even when I first started using internet, there were a lot of pop-ups.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And they also have pop-ups. They have a lot more pop-ups now.
Yes.
And they see that, these, the adult sites, kind of
Yes.
takes them. Even it's so hard sometimes to navigate.
Yeah.
Because even though they don't want to click it, but your mouse is sort of like,
Yes.
you can't go to the things you want to unless you kind of go around it. And
Yeah.
then it just
End up
kind of takes
clicking
you
on
there,
it. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And at that age, they're kind of curious.
Yes.
I mean, we are
Absolutely.
curious even at our age.
Absolutely.
If I'm not curious, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what
Yes,
it is. We all are
absolutely.
built with curiosity. And you remember the show Curious George?
Yes.
Okay.
The monkey, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
See that we have to, how we relate. So we are, I mean, it's not pause time, is it?
No,
Okay.
no.
So they if they go through the browsers and they are clicking on things, and then talk about that. When you click, and I'm sure it's already happened to you.
Yeah.
Don't say that, oh, it will happen to you. Say, you might have already stepped on that.
Yeah.
Were you nervous?
Yeah.
What was that? There was some maybe adult content.
Yeah.
You say it. It's okay
Yeah.
to talk about it.
Yeah.
Don't say like, I'm just gonna, did you see anything? No. You must have
You
gone
must
into
have.
something. See, that's the language, is like, I am aware of it.
Yeah.
I'm not just curious, I'm aware of it. It happens.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm okay with it.
And don't be shameful about it.
Yes.
Like, there's nothing to be shameful about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The last thing you want to do is
Yeah.
shame the child.
Yes.
Like, even if they have gone through it, you're saying, it's normal.
Yes.
I have gone through that too.
Yes.
Tell them, normalize it.
Yes.
Like, if you're browsing and you end up on that site and you're curious, and I get curious too, say that.
Yeah.
Get into their world. Like, I am parallel. I'm a little out, but I am sort of going with you. What are we getting into? And say, yeah, that is, I'm sure it felt a little inappropriate, right, for you. And it will probably happen again. And next year or two, you might be more curious because your friends would be talking about it too.
Yeah.
Right? So you can talk to me about it if you feel comfortable, if you think that you want to know more,
Yeah.
or you feel like how to get out of this, how to unnavigate, or how to close the browser. And
Yeah.
so having that discussion with your children, even as a mother, like say you're a mother of a son, it's okay to talk to your boy about it. Like, I mean, talking to them about porn addiction. It's very common with boys, and there's nothing,
Yeah.
I'm not saying addiction is normal. Addiction is not normal. Talking to them, we need to normalize
Yes.
even to your 12, 13-year-old boy, you can talk to them about porn addiction. It is a thing, and it happens. Doesn't mean it's going to happen to you, but I'm telling you, it's curiosity. It starts from the curiosity, and if you're curious, it's okay. But when you feel like it's becoming a habit for you, like when you open your laptop or computer and the first thing you want to go is there, that means it's like, it's kind of,
Yeah.
it's calling your name.
Yeah.
It's not calling your name, but you want to go there.
Yes, yes.
So it's like curiosity.
Yeah.
First few times is a curiosity, and next few, because then you hear people talking about it, and on the digital world, people are really posting about it, and then you say, oh, maybe it's okay.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing it. Everybody curious like me, but if you are getting into those sites where you have to pay for it, right? And they figure out the ways to pay for it. They don't need your credit card. And I remember one time I had a client, like his brother was paying for it.
Oh, wow.
And, he used his brother, so then he gave password to a couple of his friends, and they were using it. And
Oh,
then-
wow.
And when their brother found out, and he's like, oh, you using it? And he said, yeah. He's like, okay. So before you know, 4 or 5 other kids were using it,
Yeah.
And then mom found out, like, this is what's happening. And of course, the brother got in trouble, and then I saw the kid. So, and then he said, it's not that bad. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly what
Yeah.
was his word. And then he was curious, but he thought his friends should be curious with him so they could talk about it.
Ah.
You see how much curiosity leads to?
Yes.
So before you know, 4 other his friends are using,
Yeah.
and they were all curious together. And they were talking about it. And then they were comparing that with the friends they have, the girls
Wow.
in the classroom. So, it was conversations were around it.
Yes.
See that's dangerous.
Yes.
It can become dangerous.
It can be, yeah.
So those are the conversations we don't have with our children. Sometimes it's sort of we find out later
Yeah.
when you hear from the school.
Yeah.
Because in school, teacher heard them
Talking about it or
talking about
watching it.
or putting the note or something like that. And then the teacher found out. It's like, oh my God, this is sick. That's how she presented to the principal. It is sick behavior.
Yeah.
Like what are they watching? And they're comparing to the girls
Oh,
in the class. So that's not normal. So we have to talk about the healthy part of using the social media and navigating into all these sites. So the dangerous part, and then now we were talking about the positive. The negative is that you're attracting. So you're open to the world, and world is open to you, but the people from the world is also can see you.
Yeah.
Right? And they see that from what you're posting, even though you show that you're an adult, but you're not an adult, and they can figure it out. They are lingos, like we were talking about.
Yes, yes.
And that's where the predators come in.
That's what scares me.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then before they know, they also pretend they're your age,
Yes.
and they're your friends,
Yes.
and they start playing with you.
Yeah.
Video games. They start with video games. I mean, we're stepping into a lot of things at one
Yes,
time. But
absolutely, yeah.
it's so important to know that it could be you meet them online for just in a page, and then before you know, you have a curiosity, you post a question,
Yeah.
and then they give you answer, and you said, "Oh, do you play video games? Oh, yeah. Do you want to be my, you want to play on the video game? Which one do you like?" And they've tried to find common interest.
Yes.
And I had one time a person told me, not in my case, but somebody else, another therapist, they said that, this person who was in his 60s and, who was a predator, and then this 14-year-old they met online somewhere, and then they started playing video game. But the 60-some-year-old did not play the video game.
Oh.
He didn't know. He didn't have the games. He had his, like a nephew or somebody to play the game, okay, with this kid.
Oh.
Because he wasn't
He wasn't, yeah.
right.
Oh, wow.
So but the communication was going on
Between him and the kid.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So it's like a very planned out
Yeah.
thing. So that was dangerous. But before they even could ever meet in person, the family found out.
Yeah.
And they got him help. Wow. Right? Because one of the conversations that when the parents read it is like, okay, this doesn't seem like a teenager.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then they figured it out.
It's so scary, like, to hear these kinds of stories, because we know it's out there and we know that these things exist, and it's just like, as a parent, you always want to shield your kids from all kinds of harm and people, because there are good people, of course, but there are also those that aren't there for the best of intentions, and they're looking for something way worse, right?
Yes.
So yeah.
And I want to now step into the psych part of it.
Yes,
This whole
please.
thing, the curiosity, that's how it starts. And then how we support their curiosity, but we are present while they are curious.
Yeah.
So we don't let them get into the addiction or have some kind of self-sabotage behavior.
Yeah.
Right? Because when they realize they're making a mistake or they're going through the addiction, they don't want to tell you, and they're hurting themselves, like psychologically, right? And they get into this guilt.
Wow.
They feel shameful, like they have gone that far, right? So, how as a parent, how are we doing on time?
One more.
When after
Yeah.
this? Okay.
Yeah.
So when we see our children getting very much hooked into the social media world, or even internet browsing, and getting into this curious or unknown world,
Yes.
we have to see that why they are curious. Right? That's where our role is, why they are so curious about it. Like if your daughter, let's say, next month or a few months down the road, she said, "No, I want it." Like you were saying, she hasn't really battled,
Yes.
she hasn't, pushed for it, because she knows, she understands somehow.
Yeah.
We both have developed that relationship that she trusts you that it's not the right time.
Right.
But when she feels the pressure to conform with her peers who already have it,
Yeah.
the battle starts.
Yes.
Right? So before that gets there, we have to see that why they need it, right? Is that like if we look into the psychological aspect, that most of our children, they need, I would say, 5S. You know, they want to be seen,
Yeah.
they want to be secured,
Okay.
right? And they want to be soothed, right?
Okay.
And they want to be significant,
Wow. Okay.
right? And they want to be successful.
Okay.
So there are these 5 S's.
Okay, we're going to stop at the 5 S's.
Okay.
And then when we come back, you're going to go on in detailed about those. So we're going to take a quick break. You are listening to 103.5 Hum FM with your Chai Time Girls. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Chai Time. You are listening to 103.5 Hum FM with your Chai Time Girls. And for those of you that have just tuned in, we are in conversation with Bhawna Luthra on the effects of social media on children. So before we went on break, you were talking about the 5 S's.
Yes.
So let's
So
talk.
this is from Dr. Shafawi. I
Okay.
want to take full credit here because she has written a book on conscious parenting.
Oh, okay.
So I have followed her. I've been following her work for a while. So she does talk about it that most, children want these 5 things. We think, even in any relationship, even in adult relationship, don't we want to feel significant? We
Yes.
want our partner to soothe us.
Yes.
Even from our parents, we sought the same thing, siblings. So it's very common. We think children, we see them, okay, we have to take care of them. They have feelings, but what are those feelings? We never really get into the world of their feelings because they themselves can't really describe it or say
Yes.
it
Yes.
and label it. So we have to see that they also want to feel safe. They feel safe with us. Right. First the safety comes and then the trust comes.
Yeah.
Right. Then if the baby feels safe, then the trust comes from there. So when we provide the safety and soothe feelings, the other things follows. Right. That
Yeah.
I am the significant person in their life. Right.
Yeah.
And then I am I am seen. Like they value me. When I
Yeah.
come in the room, they stop everything and they just pay attention to me. Right. So that's and then the safety is always already there, like from the very beginning. So significant, seen, and secure, right? The secure part is so important. Like they are attached to me; they would not leave me with some stranger, right? So that part is there. So when you are seeing them into the digital world, navigating into that, and you're giving them advice, they know that you have a best interest for them. Right? So it's just always keep that in mind. Am I providing that connection? Where they're feeling secure, where they're feeling successful.
Yeah.
Like they trust me. When I say successful, means like they think they're making the right decision. They are successful in their decision. Don't we want our partner to feel like,
Yeah.
I am making the right decision. So that's the
Yes.
success part for them in the very young age.
Okay.
Right? When they achieve something academically, we reward them. But when they achieve something in friendship or achieve something in other things, we don't really acknowledge it. We just
Yeah.
sort of like, kind of put it aside. Oh, it's
Yeah.
like it's the feelings.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when they're crying and you tell them, hey, stop crying. Why are you crying so much?
Yeah.
Right? What happened?
Yeah.
Tell me. And when they stop crying, and then that's a success for them. We don't celebrate.
Don't look at it like that.
We
Yeah.
celebrate their success.
Yes. We don't. Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Their emotional success, we don't really pay attention to.
Yeah.
Because we just like, she has a good emotional world. But
Yeah.
do we celebrate that?
Wow.
Right?
No, we
So when
don't.
we celebrate their emotional world, then they trust you when you lean on, when they realize they can lean on you for guidance, what is the right thing for them. Right? It's like validation. We talk
Yeah.
a lot about validation, right? So how the connection we can build is validating, empathizing, and normalizing, and transforming. Right? Again, this is from Dr. Shifali, not me. So when I talk about building connection with the validation, it's like, when they do something, we're trusting their judgment.
Yeah.
Like, we're now relating to the digital world, right? We're just saying, oh, you like you find out that your daughter has gotten into the Instagram. It's like, oh, you got into it. Okay, I guess you're ready, right?
Yeah.
That's validating,
Okay.
right? Like I get you. Like
Yeah.
you felt you were ready.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, then the next one is like empathizing. Like when they having some struggle with that. You
Yeah.
don't say, "Oh, I told you. You're not ready." You empathize.
You empathize,
right?
okay.
Oh, this friend, she did this to me. She said this on the Instagram, and that's not right. And like, then you empathize. You don't
Yeah.
say, "Oh man, maybe you should not have done that." Like we immediately come to the judgment, right?
Yes.
So we empathize if they make the wrong decision.
Yeah.
Remember that successful is so important. They need to be
Yes.
successful, and then normalize it, and don't say like, you say, "Yeah, I'm sure it happens with other kids too," like
Yeah.
the bullying. Like I'm talking about the bullying,
Yes,
right?
yes.
The bullying people go through. Like it happens,
Yeah.
and I'm sure you talk to other friends who have gone through something very similar.
Yes.
Right? Maybe I am here for you to listen to you.
Yeah.
But do talk to other friends. So you don't say that it's fully your responsibility. You're trusting them. They will get the help from other people. Right?
Uh-huh.
And the last one is transforming. And you said, let's do it together. Like if something you're going through, if you need me, let's do it together.
I like
get
that.
to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you need me, I can walk with you and we can transform this.
They
whole
feel like you're a
situation.
team.
Yes.
I like that.
And that comes later. Because first you want to make them feel,
Yes.
validate them,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And then you trust them, like with the success that
Yes.
they can handle it, right? Like we don't want to jump to fix everything for them. And
Right. Because then in reality, in real life, they're going to need to be able to fix their own issues.
And most of the DC parents, I'm like, we're the fixer. Like,
Yeah, let me jump in, let me
go.
do it. Yeah, that's
I mean,
true.
academic challenges, let's go set a meeting. I've done
Yeah.
that. I'm the fixer parent. I'm like, before the problem even begins, I'm going to fix it. Let's not even have a problem.
No, there is no problem.
There is no problem. No problem comes in this house.
That's so true.
And then when you say that no problem comes, because problems are already there,
Yes.
because we don't want to see it.
Exactly.
Not saying to children we won't have any problem in this house is a problem.
It is a big problem.
We have this super ego, like this ego of a parent that nothing can
Go
my
wrong.
kids are going to be perfect.
Yeah.
I'm going to be on top of the game. I got this one.
Yeah.
Right?
And then it's sad because then the child has to live up to those expectations. And that's not okay.
Because at end of the day, it's not about us.
Yeah.
See, we make it about us. Like, I'm going to fix it. How could the shame part? Shame is not just for the child. We live with the shame.
Yeah.
We can't be defeated.
Yeah.
Success is so important. We can't be defeated.
True.
In the world we live in the digital media, like we were just talking about on the break, like about YouTube. Like
Yeah.
every other kid now want to have a YouTube.
Yeah.
Their own YouTube.
Yeah.
They have their own page, right?
Yes.
Where they do, the girls put like the makeup. We were
Yes.
talking about that.
Yeah.
They make their own YouTube pages. They're showing people how you should do makeup, right? And I've seen some YouTubes where they burn their hair.
Left the curly hair
Lashes
into
came
out.
out.
Yes. So
Right, with the
true.
glues, which
Yeah.
became like. So those things are there, and when kids go through that, yes, we want we. It's hard to empathize.
Yeah.
It's hard to normalize, but you just got to be
do.
saying, okay,
Yeah.
this is their experimenting stage, and that's
Yes.
another thing. Digital world. We were talking about digital addiction. We were talking about actually digital addiction.
Yeah.
It is. It's a curiosity, but it's experimenting also.
Mm-hmm.
Like how cool I'm going to be on this page.
Yeah.
How cool I am, compared to my other peers.
Yeah.
I both children who are grown adults now, but they have, their pages.
Yeah.
They post stuff, but I always tell them, do with a purpose. Right? Just always remember there has to be a purpose for it. How
Yeah.
it's going to serve you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Like first, don't forget about everybody else. How it's going to serve you.
Yeah.
Just that's all I had to say.
I love that.
Right?
Yeah.
Just remember that is there something it's like you want to feel good about it, or do you want to help other people, or just kind of what we call that mindless stuff.
Yeah.
But whatever you post,
Yeah.
just remember that it's there for everybody to see.
Yeah.
You might just delete the page today, but people already have seen it. They will remember you from that time.
Yeah.
It's never gone.
It's never gone.
Right?
So true.
So, those videos people have posted on YouTube and, burn hair and all that, it's memory for me. She might have deleted it. Right? So, it's never gone. So, it's whatever is there, it stays. So, those kind of things we have to have the conversation with our children about.
Yeah.
Right? That it's just do whatever you do. Even you're typing a message to your friend, if you're putting on a Snapchat, just take a moment.
Yeah.
Like catch a breath.
Yeah.
And don't just write like page long message. And that's what children do. They express everything. It's like a vomit.
Yeah. It is,
Times, it's like a vomit. I've seen with my children. And like message, I'm like, oh my God, my eyes start spinning. Like it's that long message sometime. And I was like, they're just only trying to convey maybe a sentence of information, like a page. But their emotions, like that, they're seeking connections. Again, going back to that.
Yeah.
They want a validation. They're hungry for that. And if they're missing out with people close to them in their life, they're going to find it from somewhere. Right? Even when we as adults, we go on phone and browsing or seeing what other people are posting on Facebook, liking it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Why are we liking it?
Yeah.
Is it expected from them that we should like it?
No. Well, yes.
That's true. That is.
Yes, it is. That's why they're posting it.
10 of my other friends have liked it.
So I have to like it too.
I have to like it. Otherwise, I'm not in her friend zone. Right?
Yeah.
We want to be in friend zone.
Yeah.
I mean, even as an adult, like in my 50s, I feel like I need to conform. I mean,
wow.
So sad though.
Yeah.
It is true.
It is true.
Hard truth.
It is true.
That we want to fit into the world. And imagine at that young age, they want to fit into the world. For us, it's maybe those Facebook friends.
Yeah.
For them, it's like everybody gotta like them.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
We was like globalization, right? This whole digital world is like a global thing.
Yeah.
Right? Like I have these many followers. So important to them.
Wow. You don't look at it that way until we like the way that you put it. I'm like, wow, that is true.
Yeah. So I have to whenever I was gone out of action for a month, I was like, okay. But then it's like, wow, I'm free.
Yeah.
I felt so free.
Yeah.
And I think it's possible. But we have to start from ourselves. And even openly saying to our children, saying, I'm taking a break maybe for 2 weeks. I'm not going to post anything. I'm not going to pay attention to it.
Yeah.
And
it's almost like cleansing your mind.
Yeah. So I have a friend, he does that every few months. It's like, I'm taking a break from Facebook and all other social media pages. So if I'm not responding, liking, it's not, that I'm not ignoring you. I'm just not here on that platform.
Oh.
So he openly posted before he takes a break.
Oh, wow.
So every couple months, 2-3 months, he takes like
a break. Maybe I need to do that.
Yeah. So if we tell them like we are in control, that's another thing. We're teaching our children that we are in control, right? Like you are in control when you don't have to be in there because everybody else is in there.
Yeah.
You can always leave.
Yeah.
Or you can tell your friends, I'm taking a break. Right?
Yeah.
We go on spring break, we go on summer break. We also take a break from these social pages or social media pages. So I think these are the conversation, we're serious conversation. We talked about the addiction component. We're talking about how to take a full charge and control.
Yeah.
And in between we talk about how we first build that connection that they trust us for this. Like, I can listen to her. She makes sense. Even though sometimes we don't make sense to our own self. Like, why am I liking this Facebook post? And half of the people in the group, maybe I am not even too fond of, but they are with my friend, so I gotta still like it. It's just very interesting,
Yeah.
So you gotta be in the friend zone, because once you're out, it's so hard to be. I mean, imagine.
Yeah.
It's so hard to be out.
Yeah. But it's so sad that as adults we feel that way.
Yeah.
So, like, I can only imagine how children must feel.
Because we don't,
for that belonging.
we met 6 months ago. We live like an hour plus away. And we have that connection, right?
Yeah.
We are living in busy life with our children, but we are now not socially as most of the people. We're not like socially engaged. We're not going meeting like what we used to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some are busy. You guys have young kids. For me, even like, I don't know, I'm not that hungry anymore for social connection,
Yeah.
because I get completed by so many different ways. Unless you get that your cup filled from other places, some people get into the loneliness. That's another thing I want to really talk about. It's so important, is because when they are not in, when they, let's say if a child gets bullied and they said, okay, no more. What is left for them? As
Social media.
parents, we protect them and we save them, we get them out of that situation.
Yeah.
Right? But then what is left for them? Loneliness.
Yeah.
And that's the scariest place.
That is.
Right? We talked about so many being elderly, being alone at home. And that's why a lot of grandkids are teaching their grandparents,
Yeah.
like how to get onto the Instagram. And
Yeah.
like my mom is on Instagram, my mom is on like Facebook, my mom is WhatsApp, all these things, because it keeps her busy.
Yeah.
Right? So imagine if we tell them, stop all this.
What else do
Why
they
are
have
they left
left?
with loneliness? And we have to tell them. So how do we help them? And that was your last thing you asked.
Yes.
One of the questions in the last. That how do we help them is first the communication. Like you can take a break from it. And then there are, there are many addiction recovery centers, right? Like not there's nothing like a digital addiction.
Yeah.
It's not even a diagnosis yet in our psych.
It'll come. I feel like it
But
will.
it's coming. I'm
Yeah.
sure whenever they review the next time, it's going to be there because it's a growing concern. Right?
Yeah.
Especially the cyberbullying is happening, and a lot of people have, even in some part of the world, have committed suicide based off how they were bullied or how they have internalized so much what they have seen there. Not have to be directly bullied, but they just felt like the world was so tough and they don't belong, and then they just kill themselves. So it's to that extreme. Wow. Right? And they also already maybe had some mental health struggles. Okay? And they maybe didn't have those connections at home. There's so many factors.
Yeah.
Right? So there are some places they have now started some support groups. And I'm actually one of the person want to start the support group for the families.
Okay.
I'm actually giving one of the talks on in person for parent and children next Saturday on this topic. And I'll send you the link if
Yeah.
you're interested. So it'll be parents and children will be there. So
Okay.
they can both kind of be more open about it, because it's one of the things we don't openly talk about.
Yeah.
So they are a recovery center, and they are starting the support group for children who are going through it, and also for parents, something like what we're doing, like
Yeah.
how to help from the very early on to how to help the children to navigate that.
I love that.
So, and there is a summer there, when problem gets so severe, there are places they have nature camps. I highly encourage parents to take your children for camping. Right? Nature camping. If not, like Girl Scout, Boy Scout.
Yeah, I
they
did
do
that in Girl Scouts. We did camping.
Right?
Yeah.
Those things are so valuable because they don't, at those times, they don't have anything on them.
Yeah.
And they can feel it. Like if they can do it then, they can do it
Yeah.
when they're even outside. Right? And in those camps, they talk about digital addiction, and it is around that topic.
Oh.
And then they talk about how much we can fill our cup and how we can nurture and the connection with people in person. Making friends, creating new relationships with our peers in the camps or outside. You
Yeah.
teach them the social skills,
Yes.
which our children are missing out because they are getting into this digital addiction.
Yeah. I read somewhere, I don't know if I saw this or I read this was a while back, that they actually have places where they're teaching kids how to communicate on, like, have phone conversations as opposed to texting or like social media, or like, because that's all they know. They don't know how to pick up a phone and have a phone conversation. So there's actually places where they're teaching children how to have phone conversations, which is so sad because the world, like you said, we're living in a digital world now, and like kids need to be able to have social skills. A lot of them don't. The only social skill they know is through social media.
Exactly.
And that's so
most of us
sad.
going to have our thumbs like now.
Yeah.
Most of our children going to have, there was a carpal tunnel syndrome, right? I forgot, there's a word for now. It's not carpal tunnel, but it's something else. But their thumb's going to be not straight.
Oh, because of the texting. Oh. There was
Or
another...
gaming, when they game.
Yeah. So there's actually people that have like the headphones, their heads are now being shaped. There's like a dent that's going down on their heads with the bumps on both sides. And like if you shave that person's head, it literally has that in their hunchback. Like that's the reality of the future of how people are going to start looking is with the hunchback because of the gaming.
Yes. Actually, that was very important thing. My daughter, she's studying physical medicine and
Yeah.
rehab. And she brought it up that because most of the young people now are hunching.
Yeah, I know. That's why I immediately just like put my head,
Right?
the posture straight because that's
we're
scary.
sitting in front of the computers for work, and some kids are just playing the games. And he said younger and younger people are coming with hunch because we're just spending a lot of time in front of the computers and gaming and all that. So
Yeah.
she said this is another, like, because she does the rehab part.
Yeah.
And she said that's another growing area is going to happen in
Next
our
few
field.
years,
Yes,
yeah.
because
Oh, wow.
it's a concern. Like,
It is,
their hands, and then, like, I didn't know about the head.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah. They actually did like a picture of some actual guy. When he saw this, he was on this again. I saw this on social media, and he shaved his head, and he had a dent
because he put that.
because he's on the headphones all day.
Oh my goodness.
Can you believe that? That's so crazy to me.
So these are the kids who are playing the video games.
Yeah.
Put it on all the time.
Yeah,
And imagine those people who are creating the games,
yeah,
right? People who are
Yeah.
sitting all day,
all
day and
day
night like this.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, people actually make money off of playing video games, so that's their
Yes.
livelihood.
Yes, yes. I mean, we can't get out of this.
No.
There's no way out it. We have to just sort of learn to navigate and create the safe zone.
Yeah,
And we have to recognize when is the zone, like
Yes.
green zone,
Yeah.
where is a yellow zone, I call
Yeah.
it, like, and the red zone,
Yeah.
like where our children is. You
Yeah.
have to just between when they are in green zone
Yeah.
to the yellow zone, you can help them, you can catch them. But once they are yellow to the red,
yeah.
right, it's scary.
It is.
It's
yeah.
scary. They need professional help.
Wow.
Right. And I actually recently, some close family friends, we went to their home, and this was like 9-year-old, and we were visiting, and we were talking to the family, and this 9-year-old
Yeah.
just wanted mom's phone. Of course, he thought this is a good opportunity to get mom's phone. He got the phone, and at that 10-15 minutes later, she realized that, okay, I need to get the phone because
Yeah.
so she grabbed it. Oh boy, he threw tantrum. She tried to take the phone away, but then I learned that he already had the phone for an hour before.
Ah.
So he already got the time he's supposed to have. So then later she told me that this has been going on, and we had some conversation, that he was already almost to the red zone.
Wow.
And if you take it away, it's like you're stealing like food from his mouth.
like candy.
It's like a livelihood. Like,
Wow.
I mean, it's just
We
so-
have a friend that actually only gives their kids their iPads during vacation time. Like when they're in the car or on the plane or something like that. Other than that, they don't get access to it.
Yeah, I mean, that's right there in your home. That's your rule.
Yes.
It's just,
Yeah.
they might think you're strict,
Yeah.
but you're strict.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, this is very early on stage.
But they're
that we're
young
talking
kids,
about, right?
yeah.
But once they get to the 8 or 9, they're able to understand. My
Mm-hmm.
kids are a lot more mature than we were when we were 8 and 9.
Yeah.
They understand. So having that conversation about, like we said, connection.
Yeah.
Say we're trying to build a connection so
Yeah.
we understand.
Yeah.
Use some adult
Yeah.
language. Like, I mean, we're talking about the language you think kids won't understand, but they do.
No, they understand.
Because they watch
everything.
it all
Yes.
day long. They understand psychology.
Yeah.
I think they have, most of the kids by 11, 12, they have studied psychology 101.
Yeah.
The words I come out of their mouth. Like,
Yes.
I've seen with my nephew and niece, they're like 11, 12 almost, and they talk, and I'm thinking, Whoa.
Yeah. Where did
you
that
take
come
a class
from?
in psychology?
Yeah.
Yes, they know validation.
Yeah.
The word, I couldn't, my tongue had to twist 3 times to say validation, and they can say it.
Wow.
He said, are you validating me? And I was like, yes, I am.
I love it. I love it.
This 11-year-old telling me, are you validating me?
Yeah. I love
So,
it.
are we?
No, we're good. So before we actually end the show, I want to ask you your piece of advice for parents that are struggling with children that are constantly on social media or are addicted to their devices. What piece of advice can you give to these parents that can help them navigate with their children on less usage? Yeah.
I think they use it with them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, play video games with them.
I love that.
Yeah, do things.
That's a
with
good
them.
way to have bonding time too.
Yes, and it's a way to connect with them. It's like one of you, your husband, like they can say who plays a video game, or you talk to your daughter about Instagram. You know, pros and cons. You're the conversation person. See,
Right.
men are good with hands-on things.
Yes.
Right? He can play the games. He's the
Yeah.
person just game, but you're
Yeah.
talking about it.
Yeah.
Right? And you can talk, navigate with them. Mm-hmm. If they're curious, they say, what are you curious about? Let's look at it together. You know, I never knew about this page. Like, let's do it. You know,
Okay.
before we subscribe it.
Yeah.
Talk about your subscription. What are good subscriptions and bad subscriptions?
Subscriptions, yeah.
Yeah, some subscription come out like it's like a children content, but it's adult content.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes. So you have to have those sort of conversation with them. So one person is like doing the games, one person is browsing, you know, talking, conversation.
Yeah.
And, you know, like we said, the camping, doing things with them.
Yeah.
And going to some workshops where they have these dialogues,
I love that. Yeah.
you know. Like,
Yeah.
Because unless we talk about it,
Yeah.
they
You have to have these
It's like
meaningful
you
conversations.
understand a problem before the problem even
It happens.
happens.
Yeah.
So you're preventing. That's prevention. You know.
Yeah.
Some things we take vitamins. Vitamins are for prevention,
Yeah.
right?
True.
We're learning things because, like, oh, I don't want to have diabetes, so I'm going to cut down sugar. How can I do that? You know, it's something like that. Before
Yeah.
the addiction happens,
You
how
prevent
can I
it.
prevent it?
I love that. Okay.
So
Prevention is the key.
Prevention is the key. Be their ally.
Be their ally. I love it.
You know, we can't be their friends, but we can be their allies.
Yes. Yes. I'm still my younger one's best friend, so
Remember
I like that.
they are the younger version of us.
They are. I said that to my older one. I said, you know, like you are the best version of Daddy and
even
me.
good.
Yeah.
You're getting good, girl.
Thank you, Bob. That's all you.
Yes,
So,
better
yeah.
version. Yeah, so
Yes.
that's, remember, successful. They need to feel successful.
Yeah.
Like when you say you're a better version of me,
Yes.
that's successful. You're giving
Yes.
them success. Something you did yourself to be better than me.
Yes. Yes.
That's all you.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it, but you did it.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Love it. Thank you so much for joining us. And we cannot wait 6 months until you come back again. You got to come back sooner. We love having you on the show as always.
I love it too. I miss you. I look forward to it. It's like,
Yeah.
ooh, when is my time?
It's like a refresher for us because then we learn so much from you, and it's always so nice to just have you, your aura, your energy, everything about you is just so lovely, like a chef's kiss. Thank you so much, listeners, for tuning in to 103.5 Hum FM. We love you guys. We will see you next week, same time, same place. Bye.